We are coming up on the half hour here on Open Line. First of all, thank you for joining us. And if you're just joining us, we are talking about the economy tonight. I know it can be a stressful topic, but hopefully by talking about it, understanding it more, maybe some of your stress and anxiety will go down. Julio Rivas is our guest tonight, a professor at Lipscomb of Business. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you.
We always have a great conversation. I leave knowing more, feeling better about things. I do want to talk, we talked a little bit about this before the break, but the holidays are coming
up. Yes.
And you said, really watch that Black Friday. It's a good indicator of how people are feeling about the economy. Stores have already started. I'm not just saying putting out the Christmas decor. They are pushing sales. Target started today and said they are moving up their holiday sales by 3 weeks to extend that season. Amazon is starting their deals soon. What does that tell you about how these companies are feeling?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's several things here. You know, I would say one of them is someone is trying to set the pace, you know, and everyone follow along. But I would say more importantly, I think a lot of these stores are trying to capture that sentiment. I would say probably if there's still a positive sentiment among people, you know, trying to make sure that they get their stuff before it is too late, right? Before, you know, because if news turn out to be really bad, I hope they're not really bad, just normal bad, if I may. You know? but if scenarios come, you know, seem to be catastrophic in November or December, people are not going to buy there.
No, they're going to pull back.
So you know, the stores are thinking about that and probably, hey, you know, it's why don't you start shopping right now? You know? And that way, you know, you get rid of that issue right now. You know, hey, we have a lot of availability. We might have discounts. We might have other things to make you feel. And
stores have a lot in stock too because of that supply chain backup. A lot of them have said we have merchandise that we got to get rid of.
Yes, and don't forget. I mean, it's you know, in economics we always talk about supply and demand, but the holiday season it's big into that. You know, it's big into that. Stores have a lot of supply, you know.
Yes.
And they want to sell that, right?
Right.
Yeah, they want to sell that. Stores don't want to keep a lot of inventory after Christmas, right? After Christmas, which is the main you know date for most of us when we get gifts or whatnot. Everything after that gets harder to sell. Yes. So how do you sell? I always give the example. Hey, what if you want to buy a tree, you know, the day after Christmas, you know, like, hey, you might be able to buy it for less than $1, right?
Right. You don't have the selection that you probably would desire, but the price is right.
No. Prices will be very low because they rather get $1 for it than just get nothing and trash it. You know? Now, if stores have, you know, stores have other types of goods, but yes, you know, I mean, surely a lot of us like to wait and do those sales, but there's also an issue there, and that is if we all wait to buy whenever prices get lower, there is less production. Right? And by having less production, there's less job, you know, less people driving, and a lot of other different factors that will affect the economy.
And I did read or hear, and it may just be propaganda from these stores who are starting these sales right now, just saying that people are aware of the budget constraints because of inflation, and they're spreading out their spending this year. Do you think that's the case, or do you think that may just be like, hey, start shopping now?
That might be the case as well. I mean, it's obviously there's part of that right now. I'd like to think that most people are probably not thinking of holiday shopping right now, but that's a good point. I mean, it's if you see that I'm spending more on pet food and gas and whatnot, you know, well, I'd rather buy a gift, you know, a gift this month and then another next month, and you spread out your spending, and it gets easier.
Yeah. Let's talk about recession-proofing our budgets. Is that possible? Like, what should the average person, you and I, be doing right now if things take a turn at the beginning of the year? What can we do right now that will be helpful?
Yeah.
I stumped the professor.
The best thing to do, and this is true for any situation, positive or negative in terms of the economy, but cut off debt.
Yeah,
that's one of the best things you can do, especially if interest rates go up. That is definitely the best thing to do. You know, I mean, it's you know, there's a lot of methods to do, but that is one of the things. You know, and another, I mean, it's take care of your budget. You know, make sure that you know what you're spending and how are you spending it. It's I mean, it's if you go to a high-end store, well, you might want to think about going to somewhere that has lower prices, right?
Right.
And if you only like the high-end, I don't know, coffee or whatever it is, try
Maybe it's time to start thinking about the budget coffee.
Yes. I mean, it is amazing how much money we spend in little things here and there that we don't really recognize, you know.
Right.
I mean, and by the end of the day, we've already spent, I mean, $50, and we have gotten almost
hardly
nothing.
anything.
You know? Yes. And a lot of the things that we got are things that we probably don't need.
Right. Well, I put in just my essentials in the grocery cart the other day in my online, grocery cart thing, and I was already at like $150, and it was just the week's essentials.
Yes.
It wasn't even like extra meal prep stuff.
Yeah. No, yes, and well, as long as we are in this economic issue, we need to be very careful on how are we spending our money.
Do you think prices will come down, like particularly grocery store prices? Will we see prices drop back to where they were before this started, or are we at this point where they're just going to stay here?
I think that's a great question. And every time I say there's a great question, it means that I don't have the best answer, right? But I always like to think that prices are sticky, you know. So once they go up, it's hard for them to go down, right? I mean, and think about it. Let's just use the example of gas, for instance, right? I mean, oil prices go up and down all the time throughout the day, you know, throughout the week. You know? But gas prices don't, right? And well, you know, oil has gone down. You know, why does it take a long time for gas to go down? Well, because prices are sticky. That means that once they go up, it is harder for the ones that are selling the gas, you know, to move them down. We don't know what's going to happen. Think about it as, okay, what if prices go up again, and then I put my price down, and I'm not able to cover my costs. So that is a problem, and especially as we move into more complex goods, you know, as we move into or whatever we buy in the grocery store. You know, I mean, we know that coffee that we buy in the grocery store has gone through several different stages, you know, and everyone is probably charging more. And you know, are we willing to pay that much? Well, probably we are.
Yeah. Even if we go into a recession, will we see prices, do you think, stay stable?
I would say probably so.
Wow.
Probably so. Now, once we're in a recession, yes. I mean, it's my guess is that we will see more sales, right? And technically, the price will not go down, but you'll see a 20% discount in this thing for a long time. You know, I mean, that might be also a way for retailers to protect themselves. You know, like, hey, you know, it's you know, the price is this, but I'm giving you a discount. So
yay, aren't I?
Yeah, and you know, once things get more normal, if I may, you know, once the fear of inflation goes down. Yeah, we hope to see more of that, and well, if we had a recession, people are gonna buy less regardless, right? So the way in which stores are gonna motivate consumers to go and buy it's with lower prices.
What, and I'm sorry to put you on the spot, I should have asked you this, but what are the indications that we are in a recession?
Yeah.
Because it kind of feels like
yes. Well, it's GDP needs to go down, right? It has gone down, you know, but then there's a lot of other indicators. You know, I think it's the National Bureau of Labor Statistics. One of them, it's the one that officially declares that we are in a recession. We should see unemployment go up. You know, that's a big one. That's a big one, right? Yeah, because yes, I mean, the economy feels a little weird. We have a lot of inflation, but that's still, you know, it's once we see unemployment go up and once you see more sales, that's
a good trigger.
So yes. And again, I don't know if it's gonna happen during the holiday season because the holiday season always brings a push.
Sure. But maybe afterwards.
Yes.
And gosh, I feel like I'm advocating for it. I'm not. But I don't want to worry. But that's when we should really have our be alert to it.
I mean, it's if the economic situation gets tough, you know, after the holidays, we might be able to see something different.
Yeah, because people do usually tighten the belt a little bit in January and say,
no, that's
okay, I got to pay off those credit cards. I've got to, catch up from holiday shopping. We've bought enough. We're done.
January is usually a very hard month. And
let's talk a little bit about the housing market. It has slowed, which, you know, we typically see that anyway in the fall. We just did a story on the 5 o'clock news, I think, tonight, saying that it has slowed, but the inventory is up, and that's one reason. And prices are still up. I think the median price in Nashville was like $475.
Wow.
Last year it was $415. So that is a significant increase year over year.
Yes, more than 10%.
Again, talking about those contradictory indicators, you know, sales are slower, but prices are higher.
Prices are higher. Yes. And I would say prices are going to stay. There's still a lot of demand for housing in Nashville, you know, and as long as we have demand, and inventories might go up, but still, you know, I mean, people are buying houses. You know? But we should keep an eye on that, you know, because if inventories keep on going up, which it might happen, you know, because interest rates are up.
That's right.
So the combination of an expensive mortgage and an expensive house, that doesn't work out well, you know? Unless you strictly need to get a house, you know, and I've seen ads on TV, you know, say get your mortgage right now and refinance with us. When rates go down, refinance, and we will give you a bonus or whatnot, you know. So I mean that is going to be the way to go for a lot of people because it will be really expensive, and then it is, you know, I mean. You will say, okay, do we really want to pay, I don't know, $4,000 or $5,000 a month for a mortgage here?
Right. And I just think what a roller coaster realtors and mortgage brokers have been on over the past couple of years, especially in Nashville, from prices shooting up. People were buying left and right and refinancing left and right when interest rates were so low. Now, you know, we have sky-high prices, not as many sales. One of my mortgage lenders was telling me earlier this year, I said, you must be having a great year. And he said, actually, we're not, because everybody's buying in cash. He said they don't need mortgages. And I imagine that, you know, I don't know what that looks like at this point, but it's interesting.
No, evidently, if you buy with cash,
you don't care what the economy's doing.
Yes. And well, if you have cash, and if prices go down, I mean, you might be able to get some good properties at a low price. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. All right, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, one more long segment to take some of your phone calls. If you have them, 615-737+. Stay with us.